Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today I get to share with you another project for Whimsy Stamps. Sorry, I can't talk too well this morning. But this is the stamp set that I chose. It is called Monkey Sundae. And I have to tell you, I think it's the cutest thing in the world. I think any day is a good day for a sundae, right? Love my ice cream. I also chose the connected rectangle die for my background. I love the wonkiness of this. And so let's create a fun Monkey Sundae card. Kind of a nice break from our fall cards. So I thought we would go ahead and do a little stamping. I'm bringing in Memento ink and also some Nina Classic Crystal or white cardstock. We're going to stamp the whipped cream spoon, the cherry, the monkey with the banana split, and we're going to flip the panel around and flip it, stamp it one more time. I'm actually going to fussy cut one of the monkeys out and do a little layering. So let's ink this up. We'll stamp it on the bottom here. I think I have enough room to flip it around and stamp that sundae again. If not, I might have to bring in another piece of cardstock. But isn't it cute? It's like the perfect size too for an A2 size card, guys. You could go portrait or landscape. So let's clean off our cherry and our spoon here, remove those, and then stamp one more time. Now I did leave the coloring in. I sped it up quite a bit, guys. You can fast forward if you want to. I'm not a coloring expert whatsoever, but I did leave the coloring in, and I did kind of do a mess up. I colored my monkey too dark the first time, so I just flipped it around and did a redo. But I'm going to play some music. When I'm done coloring, guys, I will catch you back. Okay, coloring is all done. Now I'm going to separate these, and then I'm going to fussy cut out the banana split colored in, the cherry, and then also my spoon. And then this little guy, I'm going to fussy cut just the monkey, but all the way to the line. This way I can do a little bit of layering like I mentioned before. So here, they're all cut out. I'm going to go use my Memento marker and do a little bit of cleanup along my edges. And we're good to go. We'll flip over our little monkey and do our little layering now. Might as well add our foam adhesive, and then we can create our background. Go ahead and grab some foam squares. Now, for my background, I wanted a bright. I've been playing with a lot of soft neutral colors for fall, and so I was ready for a bright and pink card. How about that? That almost as bright as my strawberry colors that I use there. So I think that looks adorable. I'm going to go ahead and flip over my cherry and my spoon and add foam adhesive behind here, and then we're going to do a little die cutting. I'm going to take the connected rectangle die, and this creates like the perfect size frame. If you wanted to add a very thin strip of foam adhesive, you very well could, and pop it up. You would only need to die cut out one, but I die cut out 3 so we could layer all of them together. And in one of those middle pieces I kept. We're going to use this as a mask. I have some cardstock here. I should have used Nina, but actually not Nina. Well, Nina actually would have worked, but I should have used Bristol Smooth. But I ended up using my heavyweight white cardstock, and it doesn't blend as nice as I like it, but I'm going to cover the entire background, so I wasn't too worried about it. I added adhesive behind it. You can see me lining it up, and then we're going to use this center as a mask. The reason we're doing this is, one, I want some really intense color along the edge, but I want to keep the center white so I can stamp my sentiment. I'm using my blendy brush and my picked raspberry, and I think it just was like the perfect color combination, and I love the outcome. I'm just going to intensify the color around the edge of my mask, and I think I need to grab some tape. This way I don't get some inky fingers, but I'm going to just continue on. I just didn't go through the whole process because you're basically covering the entire background and going heavy around the edges. Now I wanted it a little bit darker than what I could get, so I'm bringing in another distress ink, distress oxide ink. This is candied apple, guys, and I'm just adding a little halo around my little masking portion. And my candied apple I don't use very much, and it's pretty juicy ink pad, so I'm kind of gonna try and blend it out. Now once I'm happy, we're gonna do a little oxidization, so I'm gonna bring in my water bottle and we're gonna spray it and add some splatter on here. You can just see it do its magic. That's how I can tell if I use the right cardstock or not. Bristol Smooth and Nina really pop when you add water. My white cardstock, it oxidizes a little bit, but not as strong as the other two. Now we're going to go ahead and add some white splatter to kind of make it even more intensified. Now I'm using just an acrylic paint that I'm watering down, and then I'm using my paintbrush here, and we're just going to do a heavy splatter in the background. Now I do want to let you guys know that acrylic paint takes a long time to dry, and it does pick up some of your oxide ink color in the background, so it's not as bright white as you would think. It kind of fades a little bit with the color that you add behind it, I should say. But I let it dry really good. I'm going to remove my little mask, and I had to have adhesive stuck on the inside, but that's okay. The adhesive that I use I can just rub away. So background looks great. Now we're going to do a little layering with our rectangles here. You can use again foam tape and just die cut out one, but I really like the look of, you know how our sentiments look when you stack 3 together? I love that look, so that's what I wanted to do with these frames. It gives me a little bit of dimension, and it also gives it a nice clean look. I'm going to go ahead, remove some more of this adhesive. And then I have a adhesive remover. I should have pulled it out, but you know what they say about hindsight. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere my background to my card base. We're going to go ahead and flip this over, add adhesive behind it, and then tack this down to our A2 size card base. Okay, we're gonna flip over our frame, and I'm gonna adhere this over my panel, and then the center should just line up beautifully. And now I have a spot. I'm going to flip it around so it lines up beautifully. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. There's lots of cute little sentiments in the stamp set, but I chose Here's the Scoop. So I think it's just perfect with this little card. My sister loves ice cream as much as I do. So this one, we're going to do a little chit chat with this card. Okay, we're going to stamp that with VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I kind of positioned my monkey where I wanted it to go. And then I want to add my cherry. I didn't want to add it over the center. That's where you normally put it on a banana split. But I wanted to kind of offset it so I have a little more balance with the spoon being on the right here. I need to add a little bit more foam adhesive to make my monkey nice and stable. And then I just love the way this turned out. For bells and whistles, we're not going to do much. I'm going to bring in glossy accent. We're going to go over the cherry. And I did highlight the cherry with my white gel pen, but you couldn't tell because by the time I added my glossy accent, it kind of ran together, but that's okay. And then I'm adding little dots over my whipped cream. And then I thought we'd add a little sparkle with some chunky glitter. This is just going to add a little sparkle, subtle sparkle, to my project, not taking away from my background. Well, actually guys, my background's pretty bright. I don't think anything can take away from the background. But that is my project today for Whimsy Stamps. This is my final project designing for them, and I had a blast. If you missed my candy corn card, I'll link it at the end of the video. That was my first project for Whimsy Stamps. And if you guys haven't had a chance to check out the Whimsy Stamp shop, I'll link it over on my blog and then down below too. It's such a fun shop, and there's lots of fun stamp sets over there. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.